Yes, legends, how's everybody doing? Let's analyze the situation. We are dumping is the top in for Bitcoin. We did not hit all-time high. We'll be analyzing the different scenarios, see if the price could find some support here and get that bounce, or is it over, guys? We having the monthly close today in just a few hours from now, and it did look pretty good. We were going to have the highest monthly candle close, but it doesn't look like that we are going to have the highest monthly candle. It's just closing in a few hours. Will we get an epic bounce? Manage to close here October above the monthly closes that we did have back in April, right? April and March, that monthly level. Will we manage to close that monthly? I want to know your opinion in the comment section, guys. I'm going to go through the comment section right away. I am dealing with 3 people from the giveaway doing the verification. Next time it's going to be done on a live stream. The giveaways are going to be done directly on the live stream. I got the tip from 𝗖𝗵𝗃𝗫 because he just makes the people post the wallet, okay, in the comment section and then does the giveaway, because my goodness, there are a few impersonators for the giveaway when it's a bit challenging. So we have to change the strategy for the giveaways. Anyway, let's go right away through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. Come on, let's go straight away. Colin, are we going to get this bounce? The monthly close is happening today. Halloween night. Will we get that bounce all the way above 71,400 to close this monthly candle, the highest monthly close? It doesn't look like it. When we zoom in, it doesn't look like we got a major corrective move here. That is the monthly level. We did get some resistance right over here, all right, throughout the last few days. We also got a bit of support yesterday, exactly at that monthly level. And today we have broken down. It doesn't look like we're going to get that V-shaped recovery throughout the next coming minutes. Let's put here highest monthly close. And let's focus on the Bitcoin technical analysis. We'll be analyzing the waves, analyzing to see if we can find some proof of support. I want to know in the comment section, are those bears out there? Is this it? Is the top in? No all-time high. I'm sure there's going to be a lot of bears coming out right now. It is dead. Altcoins to zero. Bitcoin bear market starts right now with this tiny pullback before hitting all-time high. Let me know in the comment section. I would like to see those bears in action, guys. We've got some technical analysis. We're going to talk about the major levels. There was a level that I was looking for a bounce. I know Devil got into a quick scalp. I was not in front of the charts, but we did get a quick reaction bounce from the lows of this range. Nice $400 bounce from a very technical level. This is a sniper long position in and out, and I did see Devil making some pretty decent profits on that quick little move. Now the price is right now just very, very choppy. We're going to analyze this situation because it does look like it's forming a little bit of a wedgie descending channel-y structure. We'll be analyzing this scenario right over here. Will we manage to break out to the upside, or are we going to break down? We'll be talking about the technical levels that we have beneath us and also above us. Of course, we do have that monthly close. Is that going to get resistance? We'll be talking about that also now throughout the stream. It looks like we want to get a little bit of bounce, so we need to analyze a little bit here the technical levels, the waves. What do we have here on the chart? First of all, let's go through the comment section. Forward these to me, Tia, Aditya, my man, Mariela. We are ready to go parabolic. Absolutely. Is it worth getting into the longs at these lows? Are we rounding off here? If you are attempting a long, make sure it is at the bottom. Make sure you are defensive. Make sure to put your stop here slightly further to the upside. Be defensive. It is getting a little bit of a round formation. We are getting a little bit of support here, and that is basically from the support of this descending channel structure, right? Let's just keep it a little bit simple here for the viewer, right? We had this channel lower high resistance lower low. We're kind of beneath the level. It looks like it wants to break down. We are getting a bit of that resistance from the lows that we did have here on Tuesday. And it has been providing that resistance as the price is beneath it. Will we form a little bit of a bearish flag and get continuation to the upside? I think a bounce is very, very likely, and I'm going to explain right away why throughout this stream, okay? I'm going to explain why a bounce is very, very likely soon, and that has to do with this move to the downside. This move to the downside is extremely corrective. It is not impulsive. You don't have a 1, 2, 3, right? A big impulsive move in a third wave. You have a very 3-wave move down here, a 3-wave move up here, and a very 3-wave move here to the downside. Now this consolidation is saying something on the chart. We're getting a bit of proof of support, okay? So there is a chance of the price bouncing from this zone. Now, do we have any good support levels that we can analyze on the chart here together at this area? Well, that is what we are going to do. Is there any Fibonacci levels? What kind of extension are we hitting from this movement to the downside, right? Because from the peak that we did have here before hitting all-time high, we can see the movement to the downside with this low, movement to the upside with this high, and then this 3-wave move down. Now, when we take a look at Fibonacci extension from this 3-wave move, we kind of just tapped the 236. 1 to 1 is where it's consolidating. 1, 2, 3, 6 as the one that just got the slight tap right there. And as we moved down in a 3-wave structure, now the question is, are we going to move up in a 3-wave structure as well? Will this be initial wave 1, 2, 3? We're forming a 4th wave and we're going to come down in a 5th wave. Or will we form 1, 2, 3 to the upside, start getting some momentum to the upside? I'm going to explain what I believe here looking at the technicals, so make sure to stay tuned. Guys, today was a late live stream. A little bit tired, had a busy day, but I am here. My man who won the giveaway, Andy, only Pump Song can help us now. My man, how are you doing? Let's go right away through comment section. The pump ended of the 28th of October. We are dumping until the 2nd of November. We do have the elections in 5 days from now. Some people speculating that the elections are going to be bullish. Some people speculating they're going to be bearish. A lot of speculation. Nobody knows really what's going to happen. Hello, big man. Peros, how are you doing? Because you are. Sandra. Moon the likes, folks. Thank you very much. Yeah, absolutely. We're 400 people right now on the stream. I'm not sure how many likes we do have. Make sure to destroy the like button, guys. 33 likes. We can get to 100 likes, guys. 33 likes? Damn, that is small. That is small. Anyway, we are going to be looking at a little bit of the waves and trying to understand what the heck is going on, okay? There is a high that I actually do like, which we haven't hit, or we ever slightly front-runned that level. No, we hit it. We did hit it. We did hit it, guys. It was a level that we were talking about yesterday. We did hit that level. We did hit the level, guys. It is the July highs. July highs have got an instant bounce of a few $100s. This level was mentioned yesterday when we were trading in this range. I'm not sure if any of you remembered, because that level over here was exactly from this pivot to this pivot low to the pivot high. We were looking at the 1.618 extension, which was sitting at the July highs, that level that you need to have ready on the chart, July highs right over here. Missed out, but it was the most quick falling knife, those who have smelly fingers, to catch right over there, because it could have been the low and you might bounce $1,000 from this level. It's already bouncing $500 from the July highs. 70,000, very nice round psychological number, right? And is actually, you know, getting proof of support. Damn, that level. We just tapped it now in the last, basically last 15, 20 minutes while I was getting the live ready, getting a bit of news ready. We just came all the way down to that July high, and that is the level which is getting a bounce. If you're a sniper trader, that would have been an epic level to long. Already bouncing almost $600 as we speak. You need to be ready, not like me that I have not been ready for that level. Was ready yesterday, but haven't been in front of the charts throughout the last few hours. But look how you have tapped the July highs and you're already getting a pretty nice bounce of over $500. Just an epic resistance support flip, and it has been a level that we were talking about yesterday for a long setup, okay, a long scalp, right? Take it as a swing failure pattern, take it as a reaction level. You get beneath it, you're not interested in pulling that trigger. If you do touch the level and you get above it, you are interested in getting into that long position. Take it as a scalp. We need to analyze very carefully if the price were to roll down from here, because we are downtrending. Somebody is saying that, yeah, we are moving down, and that's it. The highs was from the 28th of October, right? The highs were right over here, 29th, right? Not 28th, 29th at 73,000. This was the top, guys. No all-time high for Bitcoin. It was about time to get a correction, okay? Did anybody get into the July highs resistance support flip? My goodness, it just tapped it almost to the dollar. It did get a couple of dollars beneath the level, but if you were trying to catch a falling knife, well, that was the level, right? There was a couple of levels which did get a reaction bounce, okay? You had to be very, very active in front of the charts. Of course, you did have the lows. I know 𝗕𝗏𝘆 got into an instant scalp, very aggressive, as we did get a small little swing failure pattern from that level, and it did bounce round about $500 as well as we swept the lows from this range. Also a level that we were talking about yesterday. It got a pretty nice bounce. It got a bounce here of around about $500, 70,800 to 71,300 plus. Very, very nice, quick, instant bounce that 𝗕𝗏𝘆 in the Legends trading community did share right away. Quick scalp long, and then we had this monthly close from February and March. Sorry, not February and March, from March and April, providing that resistance. Now, we are still downtrending. I have to say, we are still downtrending, but we are rounding off. We need to give a chance to the bulls, and the best level to get into that long was the July highs. Absolutely epic. And when we analyze the waves here from the highs that we created on Tuesday, you know, if you did to get into that long, I would consider taking some profits without a doubt. Be very defensive if you snipe along to the July highs. You're downtrending, you're forming lower highs. This could roll back down and test the lows, right? As scalpers, we need to be happy with a move of 500. You're getting $600 now. Take a bit of profits, be defensive. You could leave some open just in case the price does get that breakout and gets a larger move to the upside. I'm going to explain what I want to see here on the chart. What would be the levels of resistance that I would be interested in analyzing a little bit the price action to see if we're going to roll back down, right? The bears are going to be very much agreeing with this, right? That we are going to get that bounce. It's going to be a fake move to the upside and we're going to roll back down. We're going to be analyzing with Fibonacci and some, the different waves and timing to see if that is possible. Okay, I will be explaining in detail a little bit of timing, a little bit of Fibonacci, a little bit of resistance zones, and explaining what is the level that we need to form a lower high if we were to get the breakout. And what would be a confirmation that this would be bullish? Because if we start pumping up here and we hit certain levels, I'm going to say this is flipping bullish. This has been a big corrective move, all right, that's happened throughout the last few days. And if we manage to reach certain levels on this possible dead cat bounce that could happen, right? If it does happen, then without a doubt, I'm going to believe that that is bullish. And I'll explain right away, what level do we need to hit for me to believe that this is bullish. Now, first of all, regarding Elliott wave theory, regarding this price action that we are having throughout the last few days, does this look extremely bearish since we created the top here on Tuesday? That is the question that I need to make myself, first of all, right? Am I panicking right now? Does this look extremely bearish for the moment? Or this is just a corrective move? Chill out, all is good. We're going to start recovering. We got some confirmation levels, okay, that we could break, okay? Or if we break to the downside, we'll be talking about the technical analysis, of course, and analyzing, if we hit this level, then it's highly likely that we move to the upside. Or if we break down from this level, we're likely going to go lower. Try and come to that conclusion here together from scratch, okay, from zero. That's what is most important. Build up the strategy here from zero, right? That's what we do when we analyze the chart, wake up in the morning, see what has happened on the chart, whatever has happened, and then start analyzing the lengths of the waves and, basically to try and understand where we at and what is the next high probability move. So anyway, if you did manage to catch that falling knife at the July highs, it was a specific level that we talked about on yesterday's stream. There was a couple of levels that we mentioned. We got the lows of this range. We did get an instant bounce of $500. Remember, we are fighting here the major drop. The drop is quite aggressive. If you get in this technical levels, which are getting a bounce as a scalper, they are getting a bounce. You can get into that trade with good risk management successfully. This low right over here did get the bounce. This low right over here greetings from Crypto Fact Report team from sunny South Florida. Educate, elevate. What the heck is this? I got a super chat here. I'm worried about this super chat. Moderators, is this super chat a shilling chat? Is it a shilling super chat? Let me know right away. Anyway, going back to the technicals, guys. Going back to the scalping. Going back to the levels. This level was one to be paying attention. Instant scalp. It could be the low. We'll be analyzing to see if it's worth, if the price were to roll down, to create a local double bottom. We like double bottoms. We like double tops. They're always very, very good. We're going to analyze see if it is worth it if you did miss that scalp long. But July highs was tapped exactly. You need to be like in front of the chart, have the alerts, and not be distracted, right? You cannot be distracted when we get these levels ready on the chart. You need to be ready later on or tomorrow to absolutely sniper, right? You know the level. We talked about this level yesterday. We talked about this level yesterday. The trade is there. You need to get in successfully, manage risk, stop loss, get into the bounce. You have less than a minute to react to that level. All right. Just a few seconds as we're talking about scalping. And that July high was tapped ever so slightly, and we are forming here still the lower highs. So you would want to consider taking some profits as we're hitting lower high resistance. We're basically downtrending. Okay, now let's take a look at the CVD divergence. Bit of resistance. I would give the chance for the price to snap out from this descending broadening wedge. There could be a chance that it could snap out from this level, especially if we're not forming any bullish CVD divergence, which we are not. A lot of sells entering here in the market at the lows, and there's no bearish CVD divergence. Of course, if we were to have, you know, some epic longs entering here, right, I think there's more people interested in getting into shorts. By the looks of things when we take a look at the CVD. So we're not forming any higher highs on the CVD as we're forming the lower highs on the price action, which tells me one thing. You know, there could be a possibility that this is, you know, coming to its end stages and it's going to probably get that pop to the upside. Your best chance was at the July highs. So not sure if anybody of you, this is a higher time frame, you know, level, right? When we were trading here at this zone, when we were talking about yesterday's live stream, right, and we did talk about a sign of strength as well. This was very hard to catch, right? However, this was a monthly level. It was an old monthly level that was basically already tapped several times and got resistance, right? It is that monthly candle close that we did have, right? Sometimes these monthly levels that have already been tapped, I like to leave them on the chart. I have to be honest. Sometimes I like to leave them on the chart, even though they have been pierced through, because they could act as support or resistance, right? It is the highest monthly close, right? Where we do have it at 71,400. And when we zoom in on the lower time frames, right, we did hit that monthly level. We already hit that monthly level back here in June, right? So that monthly level was already getting the resistance in June. And moving forward here, the highest monthly close for Bitcoin was also getting some resistance and was also getting that support. It just got a beautiful tap support here, bounce, as you can see, throughout yesterday. Now, you know, I was looking for ever so slightly lower levels. We had the point of control, you know, we had some Fibonacci extensions 1-to-1. We just basically bounced at the 0.78 from this high to this pivot low to the next lower high, which was right over here. And we just, you know, ever so slightly got below the 7.8 and bounced at the monthly level. Have to say, this was a bit of a difficult long position. However, what we talked about on yesterday's stream is to see a little bit of a movement to the upside, right? Get a nice squeezed move to the upside, which we did. So this for me was already a sign of strength, and that we were very likely going to form a higher low and claim the highs and get a move up. And the main reason why, this was explained yesterday, right? If you did not catch this long position, was a little bit of a falling knife. I mean, if you had the monthly close, the highest monthly close, right, which was this one, right? This is the highest monthly close. Let's put highest here. Highest monthly close, just as a level. If you would have had that level on the chart and you say, right, if we tap the highest monthly close and we get back above it, I'm going to snipe along that level. I would say, you know, if you had that level, yes, you could have got into the long position. However, if you missed the long position, like I explained here, look, I was interested in slightly lower levels. There was a little bit more confluence with the 1-to-1 extension from this move, the previous day point of control. We got the bounce. And the main reason why I explained yesterday, look, if we do not come down to my levels of interest and we get a bounce here, and we are basically having a big move, right? Getting above all of these lows. Then I understand that this movement to the downside is no longer impulsive. It does not look impulsive, and I would give a chance for the retracement to actually form a higher low and get a move to the upside, because this no longer would have been looking like a very bearish impulsive move down because of this candlestick, right? So we ended up in a 3-wave move down, a 3-wave move up, and now a little bit of an aggressive 3-wave move to the downside. Now, this is the question right now. Even though the price has moved down in a very, very, very strong move here, I still believe that this is not impulsive. And there is one main reason why. Just analyzing the waves from the high that we created here. Why would you come with that stupid idea? The price is bearish. Can't you see it in front of your face? It is dumping very aggressively. Why the heck would you believe that the price is going to get a bounce here, right? Or very close in getting a pretty significant bounce? Well, it all has to do with the start of the move from the highs that we created here on Tuesday. We moved down in a 3-wave structure. We moved up also in a 3-wave move right there. Now we've moved down in another 3-wave move. Now, taking a look at this latest move, God bless anchored VWAP from the previous bottom is acting as support. Thus far, love the channel. Let's take a look at anchored VWAP. I got a few anchored VWAPs. We can pull them on the chart from the local bottom. Anchored VWAP is from the previous bottom is acting as support this far. What previous bottom? Got a few anchored VWAPs on the chart here. The previous bottom, you might be saying this last bottom right over here. Very, very likely it is this bottom. Anchored VWAP from, this latest bottom, this higher low. Yeah, this anchored VWAP is the one that is providing that support for the moment, as you say here in the super chat. Thanks for the super chat, my man. Much love to you. It is trying to act as support. What's very interesting is that the July highs was a instant $500, even $600 bounce, instant one, and possibly more throughout the next coming minutes, as a catch the falling knife, right? Who has smelly fingers and has been trying to catch a falling knife? There was only 2 specific levels to try and catch a falling knife safely, and that was talked about throughout yesterday's stream, right? I had to say there was a very hard short position here. We were talking about the possible shorts today in the Legends trading community. I actually got stopped out from a long position. Very, very small stop loss. I can explain that right away. But basically, I was looking at a daily level that we had, right, to be tapped. We had a daily level right over here that has been untapped. It was a beautiful level. We slightly front run that daily level just by a few dollars. But I was waiting for that level to have that tap it, get beneath it, get the sniper short position back down to the lows of the range, right? But we front run the level. It would have been a nice scalp that would have attempted right there, but we front run the level, right? So it was a little bit difficult to jump into that short. You could have speculated that we were getting a fake out, right, from the lower high resistance. We got lower high resistance right there. For me, I was waiting for that daily level. Would have been ideal. Now, looks like the price wants to already bounce from here. For me, as a scalper, the ideal long would have been the July highs. You know, I would not want to long right over here, me personally. I really want to catch those perfect confluence levels. And the July lows, the July highs, sorry, would have been the deal. However, this does look pretty good. This does look pretty good. This does look pretty good because it's having that round formation. So you need to give a shot here to the bulls. to see if it can get the pumpy action. I like the round formation that is forming. Looks like selling pressure is getting ever so slightly exhausted. But yeah, the best trading, the best long position would have been here. Regarding a short, I believe that a short scalp right now is, you know, we don't want to be the last dudes shorting, right? We just got an epic move to the downside. And taking a look at the latest wave, right, which is this one, right? Because we know very much that this has been one 3-wave move structure. We had another 3-wave move structure here. And then this has been the high since we've created this movement to the downside. So taking a look at the extension from this pivot to the pivot low to this pivot high, we have just slightly got below the 2.618, right? There was a lot going on here. There was a lot going on. You had the July highs. You had the anchored VWAP from the recent lows, right? From the start of the pump, right? From this latest pump that started on Saturday. We got the anchored VWAP right there from this move. But most, you know, most technical was the highs here, higher time frame highs from July that got that instant bounce right now, heading to $700 of a bounce, just ever so slightly getting beneath the July highs. And this was your catch the falling knife level. This was the catch the falling knife stop loss at the low July highs to give the chance for the price of Bitcoin to get that bounce, which it is very much now. Looking pretty nice. So let's analyze, hey, what would be a sign of strength, right? If the price does move here very successfully, right? If we do get a push to the upside, right? We eventually don't want to, you know, FOMO into longs, right? We're going to need to take a look at some pullbacks. Where are we getting resistance? Will we form a lower high? Well, we're going to have to talk about the most important levels, right? What kind of reaction, you know, if we hit certain levels, will that be bullish? Will it be bearish, right? Just like yesterday, hey, if we cannot catch the low, we can catch the higher low zone potentially to look for a long position to claim the highs, right? Giving you that possible sign of strength. So if I cannot get in here, can I get in somewhere here, right? And this is what we're going to come to the conclusion, right? Where there's always a trade around the corner. I don't mind missing trades because I know there's another one around the corner. Maybe tonight, maybe tomorrow morning, maybe after tomorrow. It doesn't really matter. So it's all about getting ready of the different plans. You miss trades, you front run trades, you miss them. Well, you just consistently look for the next levels and next scenarios, right? If you have the knowledge and you know how to do the technical analysis, you can always find levels of interest and another opportunity in the next coming hours, right? Today or tomorrow. So, Donald, why don't you told about this 𝗞𝗄𝗏? What's going on in the comment section? Oh, we got a bot attack. My goodness. Bots attack. What do you think about Tether? Loads of confluence in that zone. Devil, my man, much love to you. We're having a bot attack here, guys, which is weird. I have to really talk about this with the team. We need to talk about this with the team, see how we can avoid these bots. My goodness, we don't usually get a bot attack. We take out liquidity. That's actually an epic comment. We take out liquidity. Epic comment. I'm on a short from 72. Would you add to it around VWAP? Would I add into that short from $72,000 at the local VWAP, right? The session VWAP. Why did this reset? I have no idea why this has reset. would I add it? Well, without a doubt, the VWAP is going to be a very interesting level. If we do manage the session VWAP, if you did long scalp that July high that was mentioned on yesterday's stream, whoever was ready to take the action, you know, it has bounced over $600. It's a nice scalp. You're forming lower highs. You're still downtrending. All right. So you're hitting resistance. You're hitting the lower high resistance. You know, this is still downtrending. You know, remember, we look for scalping levels. You know, a $500-600 move for Bitcoin for a scalp is already a nice move. Okay. So let's talk about the next scenarios. We ain't going to go higher time frame because, you know, we are interested here in looking for the internal levels, right? Give me a level, give me a scenario that could happen today or tomorrow, right? Regarding the local waves that we've formed throughout the last few days. So the session VWAP is right now sitting from the highest at the highest monthly close. Remember, today we have the monthly close and it needs to close above this level right over here, $71,400. If we close tonight in the next coming hours, just a few hours from now, if we close tonight above 71,400, it would be the highest monthly close. For the moment, we're still down almost $1,000. So it is going to take some time. It does look like it could have a chance. It's kind of bottoming out here a little bit. We are forming a round formation. Let's see if the price does manage to push through. But if you got into a long scalp, consider taking those profits. This is still lower high structure. It does not mean that this is going to round off. It could just form a lower high and have an attempt in dumping down. Okay, we're moving down very aggressively. So it would not be you know, if you did long, make sure to collect some of those profits. If we do get this break up, right? If we move to the upside, we're moving in a bit of a three-wave structure. Now, you would have to believe that, hey, maybe let me just get these anchored VWAPs out of the way for the moment. Let me get the anchored VWAP out of the way. We'll add this one to the anchored VWAP folder. And let me just zoom out ever so slightly here. The question right now, is this just a corrective move after this rally that we've had throughout the last few days? Could we create an impulsive move to the upside either in a first wave, all right? Because this is the next moves is where we're going to analyze very carefully what could be the highest probability, right? If we are going to get continuation to the upside, or will we form a lower high and roll back down to the lows? Okay, so we need to talk about that here together right now. We need to talk about it because the price moves in waves. It has timings. There's Fibonacci levels. There are levels of resistance that if they are broken, we have to believe that the price will reverse and get an epic bounce. Okay, so despite of whatever the price does here, or if it dumps down to $10,000, or it just stays, you know, in a range, or it pumps, you know, to all-time high in the next coming minutes, regardless of what the price does now, we are going to build up a plan here together. Okay, let's build up that plan. We're going to set some alerts. We're going to analyze certain moves that if they do happen, we do know what could be the highest probability next move. So let's just take a look at the latest move to the downside. This one right over here, very aggressive, right? Very scary. The main reason why I do think that this is going to find some support and it is actually going to get that bounce is just because of the nature of this three-wave, and three-wave. This is either a double zigzag right there in a WXY, and it's been extremely corrective, and we're going to start picking up right now, or we are in the formation, okay, of a kind of contracting diagonal. Okay, that would be the only thing that I could believe that could happen. And why do I believe so? Because we are forming three wave structures. Okay, it is no longer impulsive from this high. It is no longer moving down very aggressively with a large third wave. This has moved down in a three wave structure and moved up in a three wave structure. So it does not look impulsive to the downside. So the bearish case scenario, right, would have to be a contracting diagonal or an expanding diagonal, right, which is possible, which we could speculate once we get this movement to the upside, right? So it's too soon to speculate on, but we are going to talk about the levels of resistance, right? What we need to see here. And this is why we are here, right? This is why we're here, to talk about that scenario. So I do not see this as an impulsive move. This seen 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. I don't see that possible just because of the start here of this three wave move. Three wave up, three wave down. I would not believe that you're going to form a fourth wave and roll back down here. Unlikely scenario. Unlikely scenario just because of this move. You either start impulsively from the start, okay, without this, or you don't, right, in a third wave. You don't start impulsively on the third wave. So if we were to get that bounce, right, we need to talk about some different possibilities here. I would lean on the side that once we get one move to the upside that breaks certain levels of resistance and we get that kind impulsive move, right? If we do get a nice move here to the upside, if we break certain levels of resistance, then eventually I'm not going to see this as an impulse, right? If we do take a look at Fibonacci from this, right? If whoever's speculating on this being a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, well, eventually you do not want to surpass the 50% Fibonacci. You do not want to overlap these lows right over here. So if you are moving up like this very aggressively, you know, you start to believe, okay, this no longer looks like it's going to aggressively move to the downside. So what I would want to speculate here, just because of the nature of this three wave move here, three wave move here, I want to see a first initial wave here. The first initial wave to then speculate on the corrective wave to then form another move to the upside. And we're just forming this structure of three waves, and three waves. So the movement to the upside that happens, if it does happen, right? The movement to the upside that does happen, we are waiting for that second wave, right? Just say that we claim the lows again, then we get the bounce, or we do not claim the lows, right? And we start bouncing here in the next coming 1 to 2 hours. This movement to the upside is the one that I want to be ready, right? If we do not break down, we could still go to lower levels without a doubt. You know, this could still extend a little bit more. But I would be ready to look at the first initial wave to the upside. The first initial wave that happens, well, then I know that the price moves in 3 waves or in 5 waves, right? The price does move in 3 waves or 5 waves. It doesn't move in one single wave, right? From the high here, we do see 1, 2, and 3. From here, we see 1, 2, and 3. From here, you see 1, 2, and 3 very aggressively. So if you get that move to the upside right now, in a nice move like one wave, right? Nice wave 1 here to the upside, then you would have to speculate on 1, 2, and a 3. Right? You would be wanting to get into this move right over here, right? At least to claim the highs. Something very similar that happened right over here, right? Because we did say, look, if you missed a long position from here, which was very difficult. I was looking at the point of control of this consolidation. It was the one-to-one extension. It looked much better to hop into the long position if you wanted to catch a falling knife. We didn't have the monthly close right there on the chart, the highest monthly close. We just put it today because today's the monthly close, but it would have been like the level a bit aggressive, but you can take it as a swing failure pattern, right? You're failing to break that level of support. So you tap it, you get back above it, you sniper, you manage your risk like an absolute professional, stop loss beneath the low, and you get that surprise pump, giving you a very good risk to reward. If you did not long the July lows right now, which did get a really nice bounce of $500, that's what we're looking for here. We're not looking for the low and then this to go to all-time high by tomorrow. No, this is, levels to get reactions. So, like I said, right, say that you missed the long position from the July highs, just like anybody that would have missed this falling knife, right, from yesterday. We're looking at better levels of support beneath us, but it front run the levels. It got the bounce at the highest monthly close. And we mentioned, look, if you miss this long position, don't worry about it, right? We're looking for a sign of strength, get a move up, get about above the VWAP, right? See that nice impulsive move. Then we're looking here at this corrective structure to retrace to around about, the 50% 618 Fibonacci to get that next leg to the upside to hit the highs and, get a slight push to the upside. This would be the same kind of deal. And why do I come to that conclusion? Because of the three wave, right? And three wave right over here. So right now, regardless of where the price does bottom out, if the July highs do not hold and we break down, well, that would be that. But if the price does get that movement to the upside, right, and it starts tackling here the highest monthly candle close, right, which is the 71,400, sorry. That initial pump, all right, we'll likely see some resistance. We got the VWAP. We got the highest monthly close that did get a bounce yesterday. This is probably going to provide some resistance. Would I speculate in a short position from there? Let's take a look at Fibonacci, okay, from this pivot high. We got this pivot high. Let's take a look at from the high that we did create on Tuesday, back down to the lows. We do have the 382 Fibonacci from the highs of Tuesday to the lows, which is where we have the lows from yesterday of the range with the VWAP, session VWAP, with the highest monthly close. It's, there's a lot here going on at this 71,400, right? There's a lot of resistance at the moment. And this level could get that pullback. Would I consider a short position there? Would I consider, if the price does get that bounce, like someone was saying here, do I see this level good to add to the short position? I think, we could get a pullback without a doubt, but I do see another wave to the upside, okay? I do see a three-wave structure here that could be happening. So, be happy and taking some profits. I wouldn't be too sure about adding to the position. I do realize the pullback that could happen from here, but I would be more interested in the pullback to get into the long to claim the highs again that we have formed, just like this one right over here. I'm more interested, if I do not catch this long position, if we do get the movement up and then we retrace down, I'm interested in that retracement around about 50% 618 Fibonacci to get into the long and get out at the highs. Get out most of the position at the highs, just looking for that $500-600 move. So this would be the same scenario, regardless of whatever happens here, okay? You get that move. I would say that this would be a little bit of an aggressive scalp short. It would be a, you could create that kind of fake out. You tap the level. You got the highest monthly close. You got the VWAP. You got the proven level of support from yesterday. and you got the 382 from this movement to the downside. So, you know, it's a big level, the 71,400, and you could get a slight pullback. You know, you could get into an aggressive scalp. It could try and attempt to break it, and then you get the pullback. So, yeah, it's I wouldn't say, but it's not the kind of level that I would say, okay, you hit the level, we're targeting the lows. You know, I don't think this would happen if you hit that level, because I would be looking for that 3-wave move. 3-wave, 3-wave, 3-wave. And this could be an end of a corrective move as well, okay? So this could initially form a 3-wave move to the upside, and you're forming that, you know, contracting diagonal right over here, and you're coming back down later. Or it could move wave 1, wave 2, and it starts exploding right over here, and you start sweeping up these highs. So you would really want to be in that second wave, right? You really want to be in that wave, regardless if this is going to be an ABC move, right? Or a 1, 2, 3, right? If you do finally get that push to the upside, you start sweeping these highs, and this is kind of a classic move, right? Where you do form lower highs. This does look extremely bearish for most of the people, and then you're like, okay, we're going lower. We just got a bounce. I'm looking for a short at this confluence level, and then the price forms a higher low, and you know, start sweeping up the lower highs, and it actually forms another impulse to the upside. So without a doubt, I don't care whatever happens here, right? I mean, this could potentially happen in the next coming hours. Might happen tomorrow morning. You know, we might get another low here, and then the price might bounce, right? So regardless of where that bounce here happens, if you were to get that movement to the upside, and you just need an initial pump. You need an initial pump, whether it's taking out the lows, you're still ranging, you move down. You need that initial wave that actually, you know, is pretty significant compared to the other ones from, you know, these little pumps here, right? You actually want to see it move away from the downtrend. You will realize when this is an initial wave once it happens, because if the price now in the next coming hours, taking out the low or not, you know, pumps and gets that move, you will know that that is an initial wave. It's an initial wave. So what you are most interested in, once you hit that resistance, maybe it could be this resistance, it might get some choppiness. It could be this level where it just creates an attempt in breaking out, and then, you know, starts correcting down. You will realize when that wave happens, and when this corrective wave happens. You can just see it on the chart. So, you know, like yesterday, right? We were realizing this high, this low, this high right over here. We did know that we were already in that third wave, and we're looking for the 1-to-1 extension, right? You're like, okay, 1-to-1 extension with that naked point control is kind of the sweet spot, right? That would be the sweet spot. However, we did bounce from the highest monthly close, and we got that bounce already, you know, from that level, right? Front running my level of interest. So you realize, okay, you know, you're looking for that third wave, right? Or that ABC wave. You know that you're in that wave already. So what we want to do here on this initial pump that could happen, right, in the next couple of hours, is realize that I know that at some point the price is going to peak out at some place, and it is going to start a retracement. You will realize once you form that low, you will realize where that lower high is. I know 𝗕𝗏𝗆 did manage to get into a short position yesterday from this level. It was the 618. You know where when you get in that bounce, you know, right? You got the impulse, and then you got the retracement. And this was a 3-wave structure. 𝗕𝗏𝗆 sniper short that level at the golden pocket. I think there was another confluence right there. We did have some ever so slight bearish CVDs. So you will know, right? You will know. Once you get that pop out, it's a matter of being patient, right? Because what you do know when we do the analysis here is we are very likely going to form another wave, right? We've got the first one. We got the first leg to the upside. I don't think this is going to do this in a big, massive move, right? Very, very quickly. It could, but I don't think that would be the case. So you know that that initial wave is there, and it should peak out at some point. It might peak out here where we do have the highest monthly close, the VWAP, the 382 from the low. Let me just take a look at Fibonacci from this level, from this latest drop of today. Pivot high to the pivot low. Yeah, 50% Fibonacci is actually where we do have the 71,400. But exactly, if this were to be the low, you also have 50% Fibonacci exactly at the highest monthly close. So there is extreme high probability that that level is going to get some kind of a reaction pullback, whether that is a couple of $100 or even a few $100. It's the 382 from this high. It is the 50% from this local high. And that is if you were to speculate on a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, right? Come back down to the lows, which I wouldn't think would be the case. And the main reason why I don't think that this is wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5 is because this over here has, you know, hasn't started from the high. From the high, we have started this 3-wave move down and this 3-wave move up. You cannot form, you know, after 3 waves and 3 waves, a sudden 5 waves out of here, out of nowhere, unless it's a flat, and this is not an ABC flat. So it's kind of, it's not possible, right? It's highly unlikely that you would, you know, lower high here and break down successfully. So we need to come to the conclusion of, hey, I don't see this breaking down. I don't see the impulse starting from here if it did not start from here and you're forming 3 waves here, 3 waves here. So we need to come to the conclusion of, okay, if we get that initial pump and we retrace down, that retracement is highly likely going to form a higher low, and it is going to come and claim the highs again in a 3-wave structure, either in an ABC or either in a 1, 2, 3, right? And you would just absolutely rock it. So we need that wave. We need that initial wave. For the moment, we just, you know, unless you're scalping here, the lower high resistance, and you're getting into shorts right now, right? Into these small little pullbacks at the resistance from this descending channel, right? There's just, there's no other short here to be taken unless you're trying to short the lower highs from this internal mini trend to the downside, right? You don't want to short at the lows. If you want to attempt here a short scalp from the bouncers, you know, you're targeting the lows of the range. It's the only availability that I do see here. If you want to short, try and short the resistance. Would not be too interested, to be honest. So looking at that day trade scenario, right? Analyzing that wave here, just so it makes sense here, guys. Just so it makes sense. You get that initial wave. There will be a moment that this wave up, wherever that happens, wherever it happens, it doesn't matter. I don't care. I don't care where it happens. It needs to happen at some point. Or if it doesn't happen, well, then it does not. But once it happens, I have a plan. I realize that, hey, this wave to the upside is going to peak out. I don't really care where it does. Okay? I don't really care where it does. If it is here with the VWAP, right? There's a little bit of a speculative scalp short here. The problem is I would say, target the 382 Fibonacci from the pivot low to the high. It's a little move of, well, it's still a move of about $400. I would say 382 most commonly. Most of the times the price does retrace at least to the 382. So, would be considering sniper, stop loss, already coming down to the 382. Start collecting those profits because we are looking for a higher low. I'm looking for a 3-wave move of some kind, at least to come back up to the highs. So There is an initial aggressive scalp at this confluence, proven support of yesterday, highest monthly close that we did have, okay, back in April. We have the VWAP, we have the 382 from this initial drop, if this were to be the low, and if we do not create another low, but it's very close. I mean, the Fibonacci would only differ ever so slightly if we were to create another low below 70K. It would still be in that zone, and also the 50% from this latest drop, right? Also sitting at 71,400. So there is Fibonacci confluence, VWAP, highest monthly close, level of support from yesterday. It's a level, right? It's a level. We have a lot of things going on here at this level. So it's a rejection point. If we do hit that level and we do reject here, the question is, hey, you are talking about the probability, the high probability, and on this movement down, that we are going to form a higher low, and we are going to claim that high again. So, you know, now is where you actually need to analyze this scenario and say, okay, where would I get into the long position? It is extremely important that you do get that three-wave structure on the lower time frames. Just like, you know, this is very similar to this scenario that 𝗕𝗏𝗆 jumped into the short position very nicely. This was on Tuesday night, very late night Tuesday, where you get the movement down and you retrace in a three-wave structure. If you analyze this move, you can clearly see that move, quite aggressive, down, okay, nicely. You got that nice three-wave, very corrective, right? This is very three-wavy. You're hitting the 618. This is kind of what you want to see, but on the other side, right? You want to see the movement up. We have formed three waves here. We have formed three waves here. Three aggressive waves here. So what we're looking at here is for another three wave. Could it be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5? Maybe. Maybe this has been the end of the corrective structure. We want to be in that long position, I have to say. I want to be in that second wave, regardless this being a C wave or a third wave. I don't care. It's, yeah, I want to be in the second wave. So we need to wait for the price to find some local top and start retracing, crossing at least the 236 Fibonacci. So just out of speculation, let's just speculate that we are going to top out here at the VWAP, at the highest monthly close, right? And it just does get the rejection. If you missed out on the July highs bounce, I mean, let me just double check here 1 second, guys, because we are retracing down. If we were to form some very aggressive bullish CVDs, which we're not, unfortunately. I mean, there is shorts entering the market. Oh, there is some actually local bullish CVD divergence here on Bybit. Yeah, there are some shorts entering here on Bybit. There are some initial shorts forming those internal. Yeah, there is actually negative delta here. So there is shorts entering here at the lows, which could fuel that bounce. Anyway, let's talk about the plan here that could happen in the next couple of hours. For the moment, you know, we've hit the 2.618 extension as well from this latest move, right? Three wave. The latest three wave, very aggressive, very bearish, a lot of fear. This is an epic level to look into the long position. I would consider a liquidity grab double bottom here. I really would. Because I did not catch that July highs. Which was, you know, anybody that was around on yesterday's stream potentially would have bounced. It would have bounced. Would have jumped into the long position. Whoops. So Anyway, let's get that. Let's continue with that plan. Sorry, guys, was getting distracted here to analyze this retracement with the bullish CVDs. Had to say, could have aggressively gotten in that aggressively right there. Just because of the bullish divs, you got the golden pocket, almost 7-8 zone. Bit aggressive, still downtrending. I would rather see the pop to the upside, right? Break out this downtrend structure, and you will get an aggressive move down again, right? You're going to start, maybe that will be the FOMO pump. You know, probably you need to be careful when jumping into the longs on the movement to the upside. You know, be very, very technical with the moves. You know, I miss out on a lot of trades just because I don't FOMO in. I just say, okay, I missed on the trade. I'll look for the next scenario, and the next scenario would be this one, right? I need this kind of price action, and it is a plan that might not happen, guys, right? This is what it's all about. It might be a plan that might not happen, but it could very much likely happen. Very similar as we are talking about here on the stream. So what we want to see, and I'll go through the comment section legends here in just a second. Sorry about that. Are you Greek? No, I'm not. I am Spanish. So out of speculation, we're rounding off. Price finds support in this range, and it gets the movement up in the next couple of hours. This movement could find resistance here. It's a little bit more of a difficult, I mean, it is acceptable. You tap the monthly, tap the VWAP. You could speculate a quick wick and a sniper short. It could get that pullback. There is a lot of confluence at the 71,400, as explained. More interesting is the pullback. More interesting is the pullback that happens from where the price rejects, because that has extreme high probability that it's going to find support and form a higher low at the next Fibonacci levels. What Fibonacci levels? In between the 50% and the 7-8 Fibonacci. Could it hit the 382 Fibonacci and it finds support right over here, and that's where the next wave starts? It could. It could. But preferably, you would want at least 50% to the 7-8. That should be the zone where we find support, either speculating on a wave 2, 1, 2, 3. We get an absolutely incredible bullish next few hours, right? Next couple of days. Or an A, B, C, right? And a 3-wave move. Now, as we come down to this range, as we come down to the 50%, maybe the golden pocket, 7-8 would be aggressive, right? 7-8 always getting very close to the low. Nobody wants to long, right? When it's all so close to hitting that low. 7-8 would be aggressive. It would be, you know, it would be looking quite, you know, you could be in doubt if that is going to form a higher low, preferably in between 50%, 618. That is where you want to start seeing the proof of support, start speculating on that long position. So what you want to see also on this move, if possible, okay, because what we are speculating on here, guys, is the wave 2, then 3, or wave B and then C, right? A, B, C. And this has to do, guys, that, you know, there is a reason, not just because I want 3 waves to the upside. There is a reason behind this. And the main reason is the initial waves that we had since the top created here on Tuesday at 73,600. Just because we did not move down impulsively from this point. yeah, I was just doing some initial counts here. Just because we did not move down impulsively from the peak here, and we moved down in a 3-wave structure, and another 3-wave here, very aggressive, I have to say, we would have to form a 3-wave here, yes or yes, if we get that initial wave. Okay, so yeah, basically in a nutshell, the level where we could reject is the monthly close, the VWAP, the 382 from this move, the 50% from this move. It's pretty clear where we could reject, but I would take it as a scalp. This is hit the level, get beneath it, sniper short, stop. I wouldn't go too crazy on this movement down, because we are looking for a higher low in between 50% and 7.8. That is where you want to start thinking, okay, let's see some proof of support. You might get this supported, you might get this flip. This is a proven level of support that we had last Tuesday. That could be the level. That could be the level, maybe the 618. But it's more of a, wait for proof of support in this zone. And what I would want to see is some bullish CVD divergence. So what we want to see here on the CVD, which we already, we are forming a little bit of local bullish CVDs, but it would be better to see an initial pump out from the zone, initial pump out wherever that happens, right? An initial pump out, and then eventually the retracement. The retracement, preferably in an internal 3-wave move on lower time frames. And on that retracement, we want to see the shorts piling in, right, on the CVD. And on the CVD, wherever you're using CVD, you want to see, those aggressive lower lows, right? And then see those higher lows. This would be like the golden ticket. If we do have the aggressive shorts entering the market here provided on the CVD divergence, and we do realize that the price could form 3-wave, 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 and another 3-wave move here to at least claim these highs, which we're going to start taking profits as soon as we get above that level. As soon as you get above that level, you're taking profits, no matter what. No matter if this is the low and you go to all-time highs by, the next coming days. It's a trading plan. We need to know where to enter, where to manage risk, where to take those profits. Of course, in this scenario, I wouldn't go too crazy with stop loss. I mean, stop loss would be at around about the 0.88 in these lows. You really want to see that higher low formation. You want to see that higher low in between 50%, 618, 78 potentially. But that would be your scaling entry zone. 50% golden pocket, 7.8, stop loss at the low. You really want to see that higher low at some point happening to claim those highs of the possible bounce, right? So it is a plan. There is a level of resistance and there is a plan as support. Now, what happens if the price does not hold this range and we are breaking down, right? Say that we get a breakdown from here, which I would be quite surprised if we do get a successful breakdown. I think the lows could be claimed again, and we could be looking at an internal double bottom, right? You got a bit of a descending brawling wedge right there that, just out of speculation, it does end up finding some support and get a reversal. I mean, we've seen descending brawling wedge break down in a downtrend, right? They can break down without a doubt. There's many. We can find some different examples here on this scenario. So we want to be a little bit cautious. Where do we have a descending brawling wedge on a downtrend? On a very aggressive downtrend. Yeah, none here. well, anyway, it doesn't matter. Trying to look for an example of a descending wedge, right? A downtrend, a descending wedge, broadening wedge, and just continuation to the downside. I mean, it could happen, obviously, but we're just looking for that initial plan, right? And the initial plan is to get that wave out and speculate on the possibility of a higher low and to form a three-wave structure to the upside. So we need that move to get into this setup, into the corrective structure. There's big resistance. I think, you know, this would be an acceptable scalp short. Take it as a scalp. I wouldn't say that this would be a lower high and it's going to break down. Of course it could, but it's unlikely to happen. It could get the rejection and form a higher low. I'm more leaning on the side of a possible higher low, but it is a level of resistance. You know, you want to, it would be the level where you could maintain some of that position open just in case it just rolls down. But that would be the best level here to speculate. A lot of confluence at the 71,400. So we got that initial plan, right? There's a plan here. There's a plan here on the retracement, right? Speculating on that three waver. And there is a possible plan. Well, let's talk about a possible plan to the downside, right? If we break down aggressively, you know, how low can we go? How low can we go? We got the July highs. We got the July highs that did get an initial bounce of just about almost $700 throughout the last hour. So we did get a pretty nice bounce from the July highs. Very, very nice. Great for a scalp. Very, very nice for a scalp. If we were to get this breakdown, where could the price find proof of support? And I have to say, bear with me here, guys. Bear with me. Bear with me. We're gonna, you know, we'll be looking at. This is the, you know, this is in October. It is from the 21st of October. We're going to be taking a look at Fibonacci. Not sure if we do have any naked point of controls down there. Yeah, ever so slightly here beneath that low. Let's take a look at the extension because this is important. No matter how three wavy this does look, we need to take a look at the extension. Right, let's talk about those sniper scalps, guys. Just like yesterday, the July highs that did get an initial bounce of over $700. It looks like we want to break down now. We want to break down. We're just testing the lows. We're just testing the lows right now. Could it SFP from the level? Or is it going to break down? We're just testing. We're just below the lows. Looks like it wants to break down. Anyway, looking at the, for the moment, we're beneath the level. Let me just set a quick alert on the top here, just in case it SFPs. Let's zoom out here because if it does break down and it continues to the downside, there's a sniper. If we were to come to lower levels, let's take a look at the extension from the highs created on Tuesday to this pivot low. The 1.618 is ever so slightly beneath the highs here. It's 69,290. Regardless, this being a three-wave move down and this being a three-wave move up, this is a three-wave move down. If it were to continue down here very aggressively, I mean, it was a quick aggressive SFP here. No, not quite. Not quite. Still beneath the low. Yeah, it's not managing to push above the low, so there's no swing failure pattern here. It's breaking down for the moment. Regardless if it does recover here at some point, the plan is there still, guys. You know, this, even though if this does come down to 69,500, the plan is still there on the bounce and on the retracement. You're still looking for a three-wave move up here of some kind, okay? Regardless of any moves down, it doesn't matter. You know, it doesn't really matter if you move down another few $100s. Once you get that initial pump, you know, that retracement, you are looking for that three-waver, okay? Because we're moving in a three-wave market here. And this is no longer impulsive. You know, this is no longer, you know, could be very strong to the downside. So, you know, these small little pumps, I don't see a successful breakdown, right? I don't see a major move down here happening. So the most aggressive scenario would be, you know, for like a very aggressive scalp long, would be the 1.618 extension, which is ever so slightly beneath that low, that high that we formed on the 21st of October. And this 1.618 extension is taken from the high of Tuesday to the low of Wednesday yesterday to the last lower high from here. So yeah, the 1.618 extension is eventually a good level where the price could bounce, which is, you know, slightly in confluence with those highs from the 21st. If we take a look at Fibonacci from the initial wave to the upside that started from last Saturday to the highs, yeah, we got 50% Fibonacci. I like it. 50% Fibonacci is sitting exactly where we have the highs from the 21st. That's taking fib level from this low to the high. And that would be with, you know, 1.618 extension from this movement down is sitting so slightly beneath it. You know, I would use it as a sniper level. Would use it as a sniper level. I mean, that would be like if it does get aggressive and it starts moving down. 67K CME gap. Somebody says that we do have a CME gap at 67K. There is a CME gap down at $9,000 as well. We got one at $54,000. There are a few CME gaps down there. Depend on NFP tomorrow. Shorts people keep dreaming. Shorts people keep dreaming. Yeah, I mean, this is very corrective still for the moment. This for the moment is very corrective. Now, the only extreme bearish case scenario that I would see is this is still very corrective, okay? It's still very corrective just because of the nature of three waves here, three waves here, three waves here. You know, this corrective move could bottom out at some stage here. For the moment, take a look at Fib. Yeah, I mean, it's still very, very, very shallow. And just because, like I mentioned, this is not looking impulsive. This does not look impulsive just because in this initial wave we formed two waves. There's no way of counting this as a 5-wave impulsive move in this area. So it's extremely corrective still. The only most bearish thing that could happen is that you form an expanding right now or maybe contracting. So say that you do get the bounce, right? Say that you do get the bounce, 1, 2, 3. At some stage here, wherever that low is, you would have to, you know, the only most bearish case scenario would be if the price finds some support very soon and you form a three-wave structure here, like mentioned, right? We get that bounce, move up, then back up. And then the price tops out and it comes back down and it reclaims that low. So if we get this formation, this would be looking a little bit bearish, just because now you have the possibility of forming 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 in a contracting diagonal. So wherever the price bounces in this area, you do not want it to come back down to the lows. You've already formed a three-wave corrective structure, right, wherever it bottoms out. And if you bounce, you want to bounce very impulsively, right? You want to see some steam coming out here in the next coming days and start moving up. Because if you move up in a three-wave structure, you start getting resistance, as we said, monthly close, VWAP here, and you start moving down and you claim the low again, then we have 5 waves to the downside, meaning that this could complete the structure of this being corrective. And then, yeah, of course you will get that bounce to the upside, but then we need to believe that, hey, maybe this is an initial wave 1 to the downside, wave 2, and then we're going to start moving down. And that would be the only bearish case, right? This is still very three-wavy, right? So that bounce is going to happen at some point. Let's go right away through the hey, take a look at the dominance is dropping hard also from 60.3k. I've been doing a little bit of altcoin, stock market has been dropping quite aggressively also throughout today, just kind of testing the lows here from yesterday, sorry, from Wednesday. From last Wednesday, testing the lows. BTC dominance. I have been scooping up a few altcoins. Just because of the Bitcoin dominance. Bitcoin dominance is still, it's still moving up. It's still moving up, and I think it could go to higher levels. This is the moment where altcoins look extremely dead, especially when Bitcoin is moving to the downside. And you're like, yeah, this is the end, right? There's no bull run and there's nothing to happen. Obviously, it's the moment that you want to have a bag of altcoins, right? You want to have a bag of altcoins just because of the speculation of the 4-year cycle, November. Everything points out that Bitcoin's almost at all-time high, right? We almost tapped all-time high, so there's no major reasons to believe it's over, right? This is going to be the top. Hey, we just almost tapped all-time high on Tuesday, 2 days ago, right? So, why bearish? Why bearish? We just had an attempt to hit all-time high. Altcoins eventually take time way after Bitcoin breaks all-time high. You're going to see Bitcoin breaking all-time high at some stage with correction or without correction. And not even here, you're going to see altcoins popping. You will be seeing Bitcoin above all-time high, and altcoins look like they're dead. They have a different season, not the same season as Bitcoin, but they do come after Bitcoin season, right? And once you break out the all-time high on Bitcoin with a double top or with no double top, and you just continue to the upside, which was very much expected. Just a few weeks, even days after that happens is when we are going to start seeing the Bitcoin dominance starting to reverse. You will see the Bitcoin dominance start to reverse once we break above all-time high several $1,000s. And there is a nice basic reason because of this, because everybody's in profit on Bitcoin. Everybody will be making profits, and a lot of people will be selling their Bitcoin and trying to flip those profits from Bitcoin into speculative altcoins, AI, L1s, meme coins, or whatever. They've got their Bitcoin profits, after breaking all-time high. And they want to make more gains with altcoins, right? It's just the nature of speculation. It's the nature of speculation. So you would expect that possibility of the dominance finding its peak in the next coming weeks, right? Could go to ever so slightly levels, and then you were going to see that altcoin season. Sell. Yeah. Stocks were crazy volatile in the last minutes. Yeah, let's take a look at stock market. Seems like stock market has been a little bit volatile. Let's take a look at Nasdaq. Nasdaq has had a major drop today. Nasdaq has had a major drop. Just testing those lows from last week. But anyway, we had much more of an aggressive drop in August. First week of August was pretty crazy. The first week of August, just the Nasdaq got a drop of 11%. 11%. That is huge for the Nasdaq in just less than 1 week. So yeah, we're still, these small little drops are really not much of a big deal, right? Andy, how high do you think Umbrella will go? I got a big bag of Umbrella. I haven't got 1 million, but I do have a few 100,000 Umbrella. Wanted to reach the 1 million, but I did not. UMB. This is an oracle. It looks horrible right now. It looks extremely horrible. I think this one, out of speculation, the most bullish extreme scenario would be $1. That's like absolutely crazy. That's over 100x, right? But yeah, I would say $1 would be like, very, very aggressive target zone. And I know you might think, I'm smoking crack here and I'm out of my mind. This is dead project. It ain't going anywhere. There will be a moment. There will be a moment. Not to worry, okay? It's all about being patient. But overall, a conservative target for this, just going out of speculation. Conservative target. Round about the 7-8 cents would be a conservative target. Just breaking out from this consolidation triple bottom scenario. 1.618 extension. And then this peaks out here and then rolls it into a bear market. Out of 7 cents. I mean, that would already be a 10x. That would already be a 10x from current price levels. So, I mean, a 10x, bring it on. Bring it on. I'm happy with a 10x. But I would say, there is a chance of this to go to higher levels. It's an extreme low cap, guys. And low caps can fly, okay? Can fly, especially if they're a good project. If it's only a few million, right? Low caps, extreme low caps, I consider them the ones below $10 million. And it can absolutely fly. It can absolutely fly. Anyway, let's go right away through the comment section. Okay. Worth buying Umbrella on 𝗬𝗫𝗃? Absolutely. Absolutely, yes. It is a low cap, so it's low liquidity, yeah? If you buy a few thousand at once, you are going to move the price. You will be moving the price. Yeah, 𝗬𝗫𝗃 is the one that has highest liquidity, 55,000, 24-hour trading volume. Yeah, this is your best place to actually buy Umbrella, with no doubt. If you try any other one, you're going to get massive spreads. You're going to get huge spreads, just because there's low volume on Gate.io. There's even low volume on Uniswap. So yeah, your best chance, to not get big spreads is on 𝗬𝗃𝗃. Of course, if you buy $10,000 at once, you are going to move the price a lot just with $10,000. Well, I say just with, but just buy small amounts just so you don't get those massive spreads. So yeah, you can buy an Umbrella on 𝗬𝗃𝗃. Remember, 𝗬𝗃𝗃 does have the lowest fees, and you do get the biggest bonus down below in the link. Okay, $20,000 deposit bonus for 𝗬𝗫. They do have the lowest fees out there. So if you are interested in scalping on small little movements, I mean, 𝗬𝗫 is the place to go without a doubt, because they have the lowest fees for all of those scalpers. If you're more a chilled trader, right, day trading and swing trading, you do have Bybit. For me, is the number one. You have a $500 airdrop. Okay, you can use that $500 airdrop and use that position and keep the profits. Okay, you just get that airdrop to your account. And if you cannot trade on Bybit because of KYC, I know there's a lot of people, I can't trade on Bybit because I'm here or because I'm there. You do have Bluffin. Bluffin has $10,000 deposit bonus. Take advantage of that, guys. There's hundreds of cryptocurrencies to trade on Bluffin, and it's a no KYC, and they have proof of reserves. Check it out, guys. Deposit bonus of $10,000 only using the link down below in the description, guys, for Bluffin. So let's go through a little bit of news. I think the plans here are pretty, straightforward on Bitcoin. I need that movement. I need that sign of strength. Really want to try and double bottom from this low. It really is trying to to get back above those lows. It is struggling. It is struggling, but I would want to see that initial wave to the upside. That initial wave retracement is going to be the golden ticket for me, right? Wherever that happens, here or here, the retracement will be the golden ticket. You're looking for that three-wave corrective structure, because we're looking for another wave to the upside. Just because of the nature, like explained, three-wave down, three-wave up, three-wave down. If we get one wave here to the upside, it's unlikely going to be a lower high and break down. You are going to see a three-wave move of some kind, whether it's impulsive and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or it's just a 1, 2, 3, right? So that would be my plan looking at this range. Retrace coming, building price action. Let's take a look at a bit of news. Agree, 𝗬𝗫 best for scalping, says Mariella. Yeah, they have the lowest fees in the game. So if you are interested in scalping, right, looking for levels or looking for moves on Bitcoin of $300-400, right? The best exchange is 𝗬𝗫 without a doubt, just because of the fees. Bybit works in EU. Yes, it does. Bybit does work in EU, depending on what country. Europe. You mean Europe? And Europe, I think there's some countries that you can trade on Bybit on Europe, in Europe. But the best deal is Bluffin, because Bluffin is no KYC platform. Okay, so without a doubt, I would go with Bluffin. They do have proof of reserve, so they don't do anything fishy. It's an extremely legit exchange. So Bluffin is just as good as Bybit. It is a high liquid exchange as well. I wish I had $1 million to enter a short, says Edwin. Well, you would not want to enter a short here. You would not want to enter a short here, if to be honest. You just basically choppiness right there. It would not be I'm not sure where you would put your stop loss here, if you're entering a short. But Ethereum to zero, Ethereum 2.0 equals Ethereum to zero. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that Ethereum is dead. Ethereum is dead. Tomorrow, new moon dump. New moon dump. We do know that new moon is usually not good for Bitcoin. It's usually not good. I was long on Solana from 182. What should I do? Should I hold it or exit the position? Whew. We should have some strategies. My goodness, you basically long the top, my man. You're basically long the top. My goodness, no. Wow, if you longed 182, you basically longed the top here. Yeah, I mean, could we bounce? We are uptrending, but this is like bringing some hope. I mean, Solana is uptrending. What can I say? What can I say? You basically long the top. What the heck did you do? Why did you long here? I mean, if you long the top, you should have been longing a scalp, right? Where you just get into a small little pullback and get the heck out at the highs, right? If you longed that, but you did not. You basically longed this. You longed. I don't know where you longed here, but if you're in a long position at 182, yeah. Have stop losses, guys. Have stop losses. Have invalidations. Why on earth would you long here? Well, I don't know if you. Yeah, somewhere around here, 182. So you're basically longing from this area. Have stop losses. Have invalidations. We talk about technical levels. We talk about risk management. It is very hard and it is boring, and I miss out on many trades. But I would rather be in no trade than FOMOing to any random trade and say we're going to bounce, we're going to drop, we're going to... No, guys, we have plans. We do technical analysis. We do see the levels being respected. And this is what we do. I'd rather be in no trade than FOMOing in. I have to say, you might... I mean, Solana, I haven't done any analysis on Solana, like regarding the zone and what could happen. And I'm not going to do it right now because it is going to take a bit of time. But yeah, if you're not in a big major loss, you know, I would consider cutting losses. You know, we don't really know what's going to happen. Regarding the analysis, I mean, let's do a little bit of analysis on Solana, right? Let's try and find out here from my man. Somebody is saying, what should I do? First of all, you shouldn't have been long in there. That's the first thing, right? That's the first thing. Let's try and figure out here if we do have, you know, a possibility of a reversal on Solana. Bro, and let's do that analysis. Of course, it ain't going to be that easy. It's going to take a few minutes. So I hope you appreciate that, because I'm trying to, you know, get you out of this scenario and see if it's worth maintaining, just holding on to the position. But I really don't want to have that responsibility. First of all, you shouldn't have been longing at 182. There's just no way that you would want to long here at the highs when you're breaking out a high right there. This is just no zone to get into a long position. So I longed because of the 180 breakout. Okay, yeah, basic from that high, right? So, but if this high does not hold as support, then you really want to consider, you know, consider getting out. You know, this is sometimes these highs, when you basically forming these slightly highs, you know, these highs are not going to be, they're not going to be support. They're just, this is not a easy resistance support zone, especially these altcoins, It is an uptrending market. It is uptrending. We're gonna have to analyze a little bit of the waves here and what could this be? My goodness! But this is a big fat mess. Let's get this out of the way. Anyway, we'll do it. One more pullback, then long this baby. He is a breakout trader. Yeah, okay. Yeah, but I think we need to have risk management. If you are a breakout trader, you need to have a stop loss, right? You need to know when you're wrong, because if you are asking me right now, what should I do? Should I hold, or should I hold till I get burnt, right? Should I burn my account, or should I hold till the price recovers, right? It's like, it's a pure gamble. It's a pure gamble. You know, it's a pure gamble. I cannot help you with that. I can help to see if, you know, we might possibly bounce at certain levels. But yeah, let's just do a quick analysis of the range on this momentum and try and analyze here from this peak, from this range. We've got the drop here from the 5th of August, sweeping up the lows. We got the highs. I have to say, you know, I would still be quite bullish on Solana on this move. Just would be not, you know, just would not know if it is going to pull back a little bit more from this area. It is going to take time. I am tired, and you know, I could get this ready for tomorrow's stream, but maybe tomorrow we already, you know, maybe dropped. I wouldn't think so. I'm not sure if you're using low leverage. Yeah, trying to come to the conclusion here after this peak, right? Because I can only analyze from this peak right there the internal waves. Oh, got a big fat mess here. I mean, there is a chance. Oh my goodness, you just really longed into the resistance. You know, at least from higher time frames. My goodness sake. You literally longed the lower high resistance. You longed at the resistance. Oh. Yeah, you know, could we get that breakout in the coming days? You know, this is going to be very, very wishful thinking. But damn. You know what would be, well, you know what would be a good level to long is coming back down to these levels of resistance. That you know, hey, we did form a really nice inverted head and shoulder here, right? You got the neckline, which has formed this inverted head and shoulder structure. It broke out and it actually came down to bounce perfectly as support. That would have been a good long in here on the breakout of this level. You should have had stop loss ever so slightly beneath the level of resistance. If it does not hold, then and it does not continue to the upside. I mean, you're hitting the higher time frame, lower high of resistance right there from this descending channel. A good long on this would be coming back down to sweep up the lows of this area. That would be a good long, because you got that proven level of resistance that flipped into support, and you might get a sweep of the low again and then get the bounce, and you would try and hold it to test the highs. I mean, that would be a good level. That would be a level where I would set some alerts just in case it does retest the low and it gets kind of a swing failure pattern, retest of the neckline from this inverted head and shoulder structure. I mean, keeping something simple, and that would be a level that I would speculate on a long. Just sweep up the low, get back above, trigger long, stop loss, and look for the rise. Let's talk about this movement here. So from the low of the 5th of August, which is the low of the range, we did move here. Nice pump, nice 3-wave down. 2, 3. Poof. Yeah, we didn't even hit the 0.88. If we would have hit the 0.88 Fibonacci, it would have been highly likely that at some point you are going to take the highs and you are going to break out. I still believe that, yeah, this could very likely happen in the coming weeks. The only situation is, I don't know where your liquidation event is. Your liquidation. I mean, if you're using a bit of high leverage, I would expect it's going to be somewhere in this zone. You know, if you're only using a 5x leverage, it's already going to be in this area. If you're using over a 10x, then you know you basically toast. If you're using a 10x, then you're toast here, because if you pull back a little bit more, you should be already liquidated if you used over a 10x from 182. So I assume you'll be using about a 4 or 5x potentially. But anyway, liquidation is so using cross. You're using margin. Liquidation is at 105. Damn, that is really low. Are you using cross margin then, not isolated? You're not using isolated leverage, unless you're using a 2x, right, or a 2.5x. Look, this does still look pretty good. It still looks pretty good. Bitcoin does need to behave. I do believe Bitcoin will be hitting all-time highs in the next coming weeks. Bitcoin needs to behave, but the best level with it, I would say, that needs to hold is this low over here. If you start losing this neckline, then this it's not going to be looking that great. Of course, you do have higher low support. It could dip down below, but then this will be looking very, 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 very aggressive. You'll be getting the sweats once you lose this resistance as support. Then you got higher lows. Very, very complex to analyze the waves right over here. I might do that tomorrow and analyze from the start of the lows to the highs and trying to come to the conclusion and bring it on the stream. But if we're going to do it here, I'm just going to take a long time, and it's going to be very, very boring. Anyway, Solana could actually go back down to 162, 164. Yeah, without a doubt, I do think that Solana could come down to that zone. Not to bring fear on you, my man, but it has been doing very well with the momentum. It has been doing very, very well with the momentum, without a doubt. Higher lows, higher highs, but it is at the value area high. It is at the value area high. We got a bit of a volatile move here just a few days ago, getting beneath the value area high. But for the moment, you have a chance that the value area high of this trading zone since February could maintain as support. There is a chance. You're probably hitting the golden pocket right now from the pivot low created from last Friday. Yeah, I mean, you could give it a chance. If you start losing this level, then you could give Solana a chance here more locally that it could get a bounce. You're literally at the value area high of the entire range that we formed since March, and you are hitting the local golden pocket from the last higher low to the last higher high with the value area high since March. You could give it a chance that it might just as well form a higher low here and get that bounce from this level, and you might be saved. If you lose this zone, I mean, there is a lot of support, but it's just about losing and not seeing proof of support. So, I mean, for the moment, you are seeing proof of support here. So throughout the next couple of days, you want to start seeing Solana get out, find its ground from here, which it is. You want to start seeing Solana, hey, breaking a little bit of this downtrend structure that we formed. That would be already nice. You got that lower high resistance, right? You want to start getting out from this downtrend. You're finding support at this golden pocket and the value area high from the entire range. If you smack out of this zone, then you're probably going to be good and, would maintain that position. If you lose, if you start losing this in the next coming days, you could give it a chance, but I wouldn't go too crazy here. You don't want this zone to be lost. You could just be losing levels and levels, right? I would say that this sweep of the low is a great long on Solana, just because you have that proven neckline, right? From the inverted head and shoulder structure. You got that, this got an epic bounce very, very quickly. So you got that, you know, resistance, breakout, bounce, boom. This happened very quickly. You need to set the alerts and just be ready to pull the trigger. But having validations eventually, you know, once you get that reaction, you sniper long, stop loss at the low, and you basically looking for the highs of the breakout to take profit. You just get out at the highs, because believing that you're going to higher levels is you have hope, unless you're analyzing some extension waves and you have some, you know, very, very good technical targets. But I keep it simple. If I get into a bounce and, you know, I'm targeting the local highs always. I'm always targeting the local highs to get out, because it's very hard to believe, yeah, we're going to break out and we're going to go to higher levels, or we're going to go to lower levels if you're in a short. You know, you just test lows and you test highs. That's where you're taking most of the profits. At least, you know, me most of the times, unless I'm looking at an extension move. So, is somebody with a short position? Max Shine. I don't ask the community. Smash the like for the Halloween live stream. Andy, not sleeping tonight. Mariela, much love to you. Thank you very much for the support. Philip, my brother, how are you doing? Philip saying that Solana could retrace down to even 164, 162. Hit the like, guys. Curious one, much appreciated, my brother. Smash up the like buttons. Getting exhausted right now. Getting tired. It is over midnight here in the UAE. But it's Halloween, so we stay late night. Smash up the like button if you do enjoy the content. Let's take a look at a little bit of news that is going on. We have bearish news. Reddit sold the majority of its crypto portfolio in Q3, offloading Bitcoin and Ethereum previously held for treasury purposes. Reddit out of crypto. Screw you. Only 38% of accounts that are in positions on BTC are long. Supposedly there's more short positions right now. On Bitcoin, only 38% of accounts that are in positions on BTC are longs. 50 million have been printed. We are seeing USDC being printed like crazy throughout the last few days. So, I mean, this is usually a pretty good sign. This is usually there to buy the dips. So we have seen the money printer on USDC, US dollar coin, go a little bit crazy throughout the last few days. And this is usually a good sign. This is usually a sign that the dips will be bought back up. Bitcoin yardstick today at $72,000. I mean, I have no idea about this. I follow this guy, and you know, I do get the information also from the researchers. But he posts very interesting things. I have no idea about this yardstick indicator, but it is curious to see that what he's saying. Bitcoin yardstick today is at $72,000. Is priced the same as Bitcoin at $1,700 in 2017 and $13,000 in 2020. It seems like it's an average. You know, I really don't understand this indicator basically. But he says it's at this Bitcoin yardstick indicator is basically at the same levels that we did have from back in 2017 when the price of Bitcoin was at $1,700, and back in 2020 when the price was at $13,000. So you're just looking at the, you know, that we should have a much larger projection on this indicator if we were to believe that the peak is in, right, that the high is in. Something that is extremely interesting regarding knowing if we are at the market cycle peak, right? I know most of the people. Do you consider a local double bottom for a long position? Absolutely, Aditya. We always good for local double bottoms. We always good. Always good for local double bottoms, my man. This is very interesting without a doubt. We do still have massive accumulation on the ETF. We can see spot ETF accumulation going absolutely bananas. 870 before yesterday and 890 just yesterday. Absolutely crazy. What we do see here on Google Trend, okay? Google Bitcoin versus Bitcoin price. It's not trending at all. I think people don't care about Bitcoin, even though it's close to all-time high. Will we see Bitcoin trending on Google again? I mean, if the price does break all-time high and goes to $80,000, will we actually see Bitcoin trending on Google? Because as you can see in the green, back in 2021, we did have a massive euphoric move. We did have one, kind of pretty nicely in 2023, right? As the price, just with the ETFs, I think that created that hype. But now the interest has gone down extremely low. This interest is extremely low as we close to all-time high. So it's like, yeah, would this be the peak? Based on the interest, it doesn't look like it. Stock market, major crash. Stock market is just rolling down here throughout today. Stay cautious. The trading plans have been explained throughout today, guys. Retail may not come back. Bitcoin seems like it's an institution game right now. It's an institution game. We did have the chance, but we let them. I mean, if you do have a few Bitcoin, you're very well set off here for the next coming years. Legends, I'm going to wrap it up. Thank you very much for joining. I will be back with more tomorrow. Make sure to destroy the like button. Remember that you do have those links down below. They do support the channel, but they do get you the best bonus available, such as bluffing, $10,000 deposit bonus. Take advantage of those bonuses. You do have hundreds of altcoins to trade there. Thank you very much for joining, and I will see you tomorrow.